Hey guys, and welcome back to Epic Game Feed. Today we are looking at Hex, the Shards of Fate. So, we are not really actually looking at the game as it is in the making. They said that you should be able to get into alpha next month, if not early or late this month. Beta comes, I think, 3 weeks after that. So let's take a look at it. So, you have this world. Here's the backstory. You have this world, and it's supposed to be just like ours, except for there are random people that are really rare that can use magic. So it's not really that common to see anybody that can use this magic, right? And then one day, out of the sky, there's this meteor that comes, and it crashes into the world. And on this meteor are these different types of shards, which is where you get the Shards of Fate in the game. So the meteor hits and everybody's panicking. These shards fly all over the place, and it basically does a world ender. There is no more of these regular people anymore. So you get these factions that form. The two factions are the Ardent Alliance and the Necrotic. So along with the Necrotic and the Ardent Alliance, you also get these different races that start popping up. Like you get the humans, you have the people that were there, they're humans. Then you have these elves that suddenly appear. And then on top of that, you get the coyote. These are like coyotes that are in human forms, and you get orcs. These are the Ardent Alliance, the humans, elves, orcs, and coyote. And then you have the underworld, which are the Necrotic. Basically, they're your people that have risen from the dead. Basically, risen from the dead people. Then you have your dwarves, your shin hair, which are these rabbits, these cute little rabbits that just want to kill everybody. And then you have your venom. They are basically like your black and MTG. Okay, so after that, you have these two races, or these two factions, along with the 4 races that come along with them. These are mostly for the PvE side of it. By the way, this is like an MMO TCG. The first of its kind, they say. I haven't seen a card game that could transform into an MMO, so that's kind of fun. If you get tired of the PvP, you can head on over to the PvE side. You can equip your cards with equipment, and you can find special equipment when you kill bosses and whatnot. So that's kind of cool, kind of fun. I'm not too interested in the PvE, but I'm sure I will cover it for you guys that are interested in it. And then, so let's go over the card types. Basically, like in MTG, you have black, blue, green, white, and you have artifacts. So in this game, you have artifacts, of course, which can be used by any, like they're colorless, basically. Then you have blood, wild, diamond, ruby, and sapphire. So blood is basically like your black. Black in MTG. You have your bone warriors, your atrophy, like your thralls and your guys that can, just mass produce stuff that are dead. Then you have your wild. These guys are all about pumping up. They have the shin hairs that are really common in here. You have the elves, coyote, anything that's living that can, like, have a lot of them. They can pump each other up. It's basically like a green in MTG. Then you have your diamond, which is like the humans, coyote, and necrotic. These are more like the white. They have your knights and warriors and your ability to heal, and like a blinding light that you'd expect from like a white diamondy kind of cards. Then you have ruby, which is basically like red. It has your orcs, your humans, your dwarves. It has like mortars and the fire and just the hasted troops It's going to be really cool. I really liked red when I played MTG, so I'll probably really like doing like dwarves or orcs in this game. And then you have Sapphire, which is like your blue in MTG. It has the Thunderbirds that can fly and give you back your cards. It makes you look in your deck for cards. It has the libraries, and you pay one less. I'm not sure if it has counter spells in the game yet or anything like that, but it has like humans, Coyote, Necrotic, and the dwarves are main to this faction. By the way, I didn't mention what were the blood races. They're Venin, Shinhair, Orcs, Necrotic are mostly the blood. And then you have your artifacts, and these can range from anything. And let's look at a card here. Okay, so here is a card I've found. It's a unique card, and it looks kind of just like an MTG card. It's got a couple things on it that I'll explain that are a little bit different, but basically the same. You got your cost up here. It costs 8, just like MTG. And then you have the card name, Ozawa Cosmetic Elder. Ooh, sounds fun. And then you have your threshold. Your threshold is what is different about this game. There are other things too, but threshold is basically you need for this card you need 2 diamond out to play them. So like if you're combining a red and diamond deck and you have 1 diamond out and 7 red, you couldn't play this card because you need 8 to play it, along with 2 diamonds. So you only have 1 diamond. So if you had 2 diamonds, so you'd have like 2 diamond and 6 red and 6 ruby out, and then you can play it. So kind of cool that way. The next thing is the restriction, which is a unique. I'm not exactly sure how this fits in. I'm not sure if you're having unique, you can only play this amount of cards in it. If you have a legendary, you can only play this amount of cards in it, kind of thing. And then the next thing is your faction. This just tells you, hey, you're in the Necrotic or the Ardent Alliance. And then you have your traits. This one's a Coital Elder, so if you have like buffs that buff up Elders or buff up Coitals, then there you go. It's buffing them up. Then you have your card type, which is a troop. Basically, the card type, troops are basically like creatures in MTG. You put them out, they attack for you, they defend for you, stuff like that. So card type is going to be like actions, artifacts, spells, stuff like that. We'll go over that more. Then you have the double back icon. This is another cool thing about the game. You can flip the card over. It shows you your stats on it, shows you how many times you've used it, what it's killed, how many times it's killed, stuff like that. I know there's some other stuff with it, but there you go. Kind of a cool thing. You can track everything. Something that you can't do with a real world card game. And then you have game text. It is this guy has life drain, and he gains +X when X is your health. Kind of cool. He can be, I think you start off with 20 health in this game, just like MTG, and so he'd be a 20-20 when you put him out if no one's hit you. And then on top of that, when he hits them, you gain 20 life, so he turns into a 40-40. Kind of cool. But it's the game text. It shows you what the card does, how it does it. I'm sure when you hover over it in the game, if you hover over life drain or click life drain, it will say, hey, this is what it does. It doesn't need to include that on the card now because it doesn't need to. You can just hover over it instead of it wasting space. And then you have the lore. All cards have lore on them. All card games. It's fun to read these. But besides that, not really too much of a point besides it's fun to read it. It's fun to have the backstory. And then you have your rarity. I'm not exactly sure how the rarity works. All I know is it's showing you your rarity right there. Then you have your defense and your attack. And those are pretty self-explanatory. So on top of that, you can also add these equipments to the card, which is really cool. You can add this equipment that make them even better, but it is for the PvE side of it. So if you went out and you're playing your MMO experience, going through dungeons, and you have a boot on him that makes him like 2 costs less, or hey, this boot, when he comes into play, he shares his game text with him, so everybody gets life drain kind of thing. That's pretty cool that you can equip your card, something you can't do. I guess you could do it in a real life game, but I mean, it'd be a lot harder to track everything, what can go on what. There are certain equipment that can go on certain cards, and certain things can't go on certain cards. So and then we have the socketing system. So you can socket these gems into your card for PvP. You can do a major or a minor one, and they all do different things. And I'll go over that in a different video. It would take me too long to do that in this video. Basically, you can put the gems in, and it makes you do different effects. Like I could put like a blue gem in this one, a major one, and it would make him 2 costs less, or he could come in as an instant. How awesome would that be? To your guys, they're attacking you, and guess what? I have Ozawa Cosmic Elder that can block your guys. He has life drain, and I can cast him as an instant. Bam! I just gained life and took out your troop because he's a 20/20. No one's gonna be able to kill that. He's gonna have to use an instant or a sorcery or whatever they call it in this game. I'll look up all that in another video and show you what exactly the cards are called, the spell types, all that stuff. But kind of cool, you can do that with the gems, something you basically can't do with MTG or any kind of real world card game. And I think that's it for right now. I'll be going over this once or twice a week, bringing new content to my channel about this game. Trying to get it hyped up. It's coming out in a month. Can't wait. You do have to pay for the boosters, but I will be going over the drafting system and how you can go infinite. Basically, this is a way that you wouldn't have to pay for it, except for the initial cost. You get the boosters, you win boosters, you win platinum, and you get to go and play drafts all the time. And hopefully, one day they're wanting to put cash prize in, so maybe you can win money from this game. So check that out, and check the game out. I'll put it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.